Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. The message came in at 2:17 a.m., glowing faintly against the dark ceiling while she slept beside me. I miss you already. No name. Just a heart I had never seen her use with me. For a long time I didn't move. Her breathing was slow and steady, one arm curled under the pillow the way it always was when she felt safe. I remember staring at the screen until it dimmed, my thumb hovering over it, afraid that touching it would make everything real. I told myself there had to be an explanation. A cousin. A friend. A wrong number. Love makes you generous with denial. By morning I had convinced myself I'd imagined the tone of the message. She kissed my cheek before work, asked if I wanted eggs or toast, complained about traffic like any ordinary Tuesday. I watched her move around the kitchen and felt something quiet begin to crack inside my chest. Something small enough to ignore, but sharp enough to draw blood. The next few days filled with tiny, forgettable things that somehow weren't forgettable anymore. She started taking her phone everywhere, laughing at messages she wouldn't explain, working late, but coming home smelling like a different soap. None of it was proof. All of it was evidence. I hated the person I was becoming, the man who noticed timestamps, who listened for the buzz of a notification, who measured affection like it was something that could run out. So I tried harder. I brought flowers home on Thursday. I suggested we watch the show we used to love. I touched her shoulder when I passed by, just to see if she'd lean into it. Sometimes she did. Sometimes she didn't. The distance wasn't loud. It was polite, careful, almost kind. That hurt more than anger would have. 2 weeks after the message, she fell asleep on the couch with her phone still in her hand. I remember standing there for a long time, staring at it like it was something sacred or dangerous. My heart was beating so hard I felt embarrassed, even though I was alone. I told myself don't. I told myself trust her. I told myself if you look, you can't unsee it. Then I picked it up anyway. The thread was muted, months long, full of ordinary intimacy, memes, inside jokes, plans, and one photo of her I had never seen, taken in our bathroom mirror, wearing the blue dress she told me she'd returned. My hands went cold first, then numb, then strangely calm, like my body had decided the pain would be easier if it arrived slowly. I set the phone back exactly where it had been and covered her with a blanket. She shifted slightly, whispering my name in her sleep, and for one stupid second I almost cried from love instead of loss. That was the worst part. I still loved her. Even then. I didn't confront her right away. Instead, I watched our life continue like a play where I was the only one who knew the ending. We grocery shopped, paid bills, talked about visiting her parents next month. Every normal moment felt staged, fragile, temporary. Memories started changing shape. Our anniversary dinner. The weekend trip to the lake. The night she cried and said she was afraid of losing me. I realized something terrifying. You can't tell which memories are real until trust is gone. The confrontation came quietly. No shouting. No dramatic reveal. Just a Tuesday night at the kitchen table. I saw the messages, I said. She didn't ask which ones. Didn't pretend not to understand. Her shoulders just dropped. Like she'd been holding something heavy for a long time and finally set it down. How long? I asked. A few months. Why? She looked at me then, and her eyes weren't cruel. They were tired. Wet. Human. I felt lonely, she said softly. And then I felt guilty. And then I didn't know how to stop without hurting you. I almost laughed at that, as if we weren't already past hurt. But I also understood something painful in that moment. She wasn't a villain in her own story. Just a person who made a selfish, quiet mistake one message at a time. And I wasn't innocent either. I had missed the distance. Ignored the silence. Assumed love could survive on memory alone. None of that excused her. But it made the tragedy feel ordinary, which was somehow worse. A week later, she stood in the doorway of our bedroom, suitcase half-packed, eyes red from crying. "Why won't you talk to me anymore?" she asked. Her voice wasn't angry, just small. I looked at her, the woman I had planned a lifetime with, the face that still felt like home even as everything else collapsed. For days I had rehearsed speeches, accusations, questions that demanded answers. But in that moment none of them mattered. Because the truth was simple. The silence wasn't punishment. It was survival. So I smiled gently, the kind of smile you give someone you once loved enough to forgive anything. And I said, because if I start talking, I might ask you to stay. The room went very still. She began to cry again. Quietly this time, like she finally understood that some doors don't slam. They just close softly. Forever. Months have passed now. The apartment is smaller. Quieter. Honest in a way our marriage stopped being. Some nights still hurt. Some memories still sting. But there's a strange peace in knowing I didn't beg for half love. Didn't bargain with betrayal. Didn't lose myself trying to keep someone who had already let go. People think strength is loud. That healing looks like anger or revenge or moving on quickly. They're wrong. Sometimes strength is just a quiet smile. And the courage to say nothing at all.